Hi guys, welcome back to the video tutorials on the course Foundations of Mathematics. This is part 4 of the chapter 1, Statements in Logic, and the title is Compound Statements. In this video, we will study conjunctions and disjunction, compound statements using quantifiers, and negation of compound statements. By the end of this video, you should be able to identify conjunctions and disjunctions, write compound statements using quantifiers, negate compound statements, and apply the logic in real life situations. Okay, so I'll start with an example. Raphael can run and fly. Now, if you observe closely, this is a combination of two statements. I can also write this statement as Raphael can run and Raphael can fly. Okay, so there are two statements, Raphael can fly, Raphael can run, and both these are joined using the word and this statement is formed. Okay, let's look at one more. Neither me nor my brother have studied statistics. So again, I can split this statement as I have not studied statistics and my brother has not studied statistics. Okay, so again, here the two statements are joined using the word and. So a statement of this kind is called a conjunction of statements. Okay, so by a conjunction of statements, I mean two statements are joined using the word and to form one statement. All right. Look at this example. The book belongs to either Ram or Tom. The book belongs to either Ram or Tom. Again, this statement can be written in the form the book belongs to Ram or the book belongs to Tom. Okay. Here the two statements are joined using the word or. So two statements are joined using the word or. One more example. Either India or Australia will make to the final. Here also two statements are joined using the word or, and this statement can be expressed as India will make to the final or Australia will make to the final. Okay, so a statement of this kind is called a disjunction of statements. So by a disjunction of statements, I mean connecting two statements with the word or. Okay, so any statement which is a conjunction or a disjunction is referred to as a compound statement. So when I say a compound statement, it is either a conjunction or a disjunction. That means I have two statements and they will be joined using the word and if it's a conjunction, and if it's a disjunction, they will be joined using the word or. Okay, let's look at some more examples. Before that, the words and or, both these words are called connectives because they connect two statements together to give you a single statement. Okay, look at the first one. A is less than or equal to B. This can be expressed as A is strictly less than B or A is equal to B. So this is a disjunction of two statements because it is they are connected using the word or. Okay. Second example, supposing you have two subsets A and B of some set X. When will I say that X belongs to A intersection B? This will be so if X is there in both of them. So X is there in A and X is there in B. Okay, so this statement can be written as X belongs to A and X belongs to B. Now two statements are combined using the word and, so this is a conjunction. Okay. In the same way, X belongs to A union B. This can be written as X belongs to A or X belongs to B. Here the two statements are combined using the word or. Okay, and hence this statement is a disjunction. I hope that's clear. Now look at this example. The statement Raphael can fly Rafael can run and fly, when this statement will be a true statement. For this statement to be a true, both the statements, Rafael can run and Rafael can fly, must be true statements. Okay. So this statement is a true statement if both the statements, Rafael can run and Rafael can fly, are true statements. One more. The statement, neither me nor my brother have studied statistics. This will be a true statement if both the statements, I have not studied statistics and my brother has not studied statistics, are true statements. Okay. So the conjunction S and T is true means both S and T are true. Okay. Both S and T have to be true for a conjunction to be true statement. All right. Now look at this statement. The book belongs to either Ram or Tom. For this to be a true statement, at least one of the statements, the book belongs to Ram and the book belongs to Tom, must be true statements. Okay, at least one of the statements, the book belongs to Ram and the book belongs to Tom, must be true statements. Let's look at one more example. The statement, India will make to the final or Australia will make to the final. This would be a true statement if at least one of the statements, India will make to the final and Australia will make to the final, are true statements. Okay, so if I have a disjunction S or T, okay, this will be a true statement if at least one of S and T is true. Okay, so a disjunction is true if at least one of the two statements S and T are true. Now, negation of conjunction. If I have a statement of the type S and T, how do we negate that? Okay. Now, if you look at the statement, the boy is intelligent and handsome. When is this false? This would be false if either one of these properties is false. At least one of these properties is false. Okay. So this will be a false statement if either the boy is not intelligent or he is not handsome. At least one of these two things has to happen. Okay. The same way, when will I say that X does not belong to A intersection B? It is so when either X is not in A or X is not in B. So this is the negation of this statement. Okay. So the negation of the conjunction S and T is not S or not T. One of the two statements have to fail. Okay. Negation of disjunction S or T. Now if I have the statement either India or Australia will make to the final is false. When is this statement false? It will be false if none of the teams, India and Australia, make it to the final. That means both the statements are false. Okay, both the statements have to be false. So its negation is India will not make to the final and Australia will not make to the final. All right. One more. X does not belong to A union B. That means X is not there in both of them. So X is not there in A and X is not there in B. So negation of a disjunction S or T is not S and not T. Okay. Negation of a disjunction is not S and not T. Now supposing X is some set of contexts and P and Q are two properties which are making sense to the elements of the set X. Okay. Now there could be four types of statements with conjunction and disjunction. There could be basically four kinds of compound statements. Okay, the first one is type 1. Let's say statement A. This says there exists an element small x in X such that X has property P and Q. Okay, I'll take an example of a statement of this type. Okay, look at this example. There is a lady in this room who is intelligent and beautiful. This is the statement of this type. Okay, existential quantifier, and it's a conjunction. When it is false, this statement will be a false statement if there is no lady in the room who is both intelligent and beautiful. Okay, that means if you take any lady in this room, she is either not intelligent or she is not beautiful. One of these two things have to happen. Okay, so what will be the negation of this statement? So what will be the negation of this statement? Negation of this statement is every for every x in x. Okay, for every x in x, x does not have the property p and q. Okay, so for each x in x, x does not have the property p and q. And this statement can also be written as this: for each x in x, for all x in x, x does not have property p or x does not have property q. Okay, so the negation of statement of this type A is this: for each x in x, x does not have property p or x does not have property q. So this is of type 1. There are 4 types. Let's look at the second one. Second one is statement B. There exists x in x such that x has property p or q. So again I will look at an example of a statement of this type. Look at this example. This says there is a lady in this room who is either intelligent or beautiful. There is a lady in this room who is either intelligent or beautiful. When is this statement false? When is this statement false? This statement will be false when there is no lady in the room who is either intelligent or beautiful. That means, given any lady in this room, she is not intelligent and not beautiful. So both these properties will have to be false, being intelligent and being beautiful. Okay, so the negation of the statement B would be, for every x in x, x does not have property p or q. Okay, x does not have property p or q, and this can also be expressed as this: for each x in x, x does not have property p and x does not have property q. That's the negation of p or q. Okay, does not have property p or it does not have property q. So this is type 2. Type 3, consider the statement C. This says for each x in x, x has property p and q. Okay, x has property p and q. So I will look at an example of this type of a statement. Look at this one. Each lady in this room is intelligent and beautiful. Okay, each lady in this room is intelligent and beautiful. When will I say that this statement is a false statement? This will be false if there is a lady in this room who is either not intelligent or not beautiful. So you should be able to find one lady who is either not intelligent or not beautiful. Okay, so the negation of the statement C will be, there exists a point x in x such that x does not have property p and q. Okay, there exists x in x such that x does not have property p and q, and this can also be expressed as, there exists x in x such that x does not have property p or x does not have property q. Okay, so p and q is not true. That means either p is not true or q is not true. So this is the negation of this type of a statement. Type 4. Type 4, for each x in x, for all x in x, x has property p or q. I will look at an example of a statement of this type. Each lady in this room is either intelligent or beautiful. Okay, when will I say that this statement is a false statement? This statement will be a false statement when you can find a lady in the room who is not intelligent and not beautiful. Alright. So this statement, it is false when there is a lady in this room who is not intelligent and not beautiful. So the negation of the statement D would be there exists X in X such that X does not have property P or Q. And when will I say that X does not have property P or Q? When X does not have P and X does not have Q. Okay. So the negation of the statement D would be there exists a point X in X such that X does not have property P and X does not have property Q. Okay. So these were four kinds of statements with conjunctions, and we saw how to negate each of them. Okay, I hope that's fine. Now, if you look at these two statements, these two convey the same meaning. Okay, let's look at the first one. This says there exists X in X such that X has property P or Q. Okay, there is a point in the set X which is having either property P or Q, and I will split this statement into two parts this way. There exists a point X in X such that X has property P, or there exists a point X in X such that X has property Q. Okay. So in the first one, you are able to find one point in X which has either one of the properties P or Q. And in the second one also, you are able to find one point which has property P, or you can find one point which has property Q. Okay, so these two convey the same meaning. For example, you can look at this. There is a student in the class who is hardworking or intelligent. I can also write this statement as there is a student in the class who is hardworking, or there is a student in the class who is intelligent. So both these will convey the same meaning. Alright. In the same way, these two also convey the same meaning. For all X in X, X has property P and Q. So there is a point in X, small x, which has both the properties P and Q. And the second one says, the first one says all the points in X have property P and Q. Okay. And the second one says all the points in X have property P and all the points in X have property Q. So these two convey the same meaning. Okay, let's look at an example. Yeah. Every student in this class is hardworking and intelligent. So all the students are both hardworking as well as intelligent. And if you see the second one, that also says the same thing. Every student in this class is hardworking and every student in the class is intelligent. So both these convey the same meaning. Okay. But if you look at these two statements, they need not convey the same meaning. Okay. If you look at the first one, there exists a point X in X such that X has property P and Q. There is one point in X which has both the properties P and Q, and I will split that into two parts. There is a point in X which has property P, and there is a point in X which has property Q. Do they convey the same meaning? Now the point X which I am talking about in the first part, this could be a different point, and here this could be a different point. Okay, so I'm finding one, maybe possibly there is one, I'm finding one point which has property P, and this X here could be different which has property Q. Whereas in the first one it says there is a point X which has both the properties, okay, which need not be the same, might not be the same. Okay, for example, if you look at this, there is a lady in the room who is intelligent and beautiful. This means I am able to produce one lady in the room who is both intelligent and beautiful at the same time. Okay, but if I split this statement this way, I mean the second one, then it will look this way. There is a lady in the room who is intelligent and there is a lady in the room who is beautiful. Now the lady that I'm talking in the first part might be different from the lady which I'm talking in the second part. Okay, so there could be two ladies, one is intelligent, one is beautiful, possibly. Okay, but the first one says there is a lady in the room who is both intelligent and beautiful. So the same lady, one lady I can find which is both intelligent and beautiful. Okay, so these two might not convey the same meaning. Okay, so what you all can do is you all can check whether these two convey the same meaning. Okay, again I've taken one statement and that is split into two parts this way. Do these two statements convey the same meaning? You all can put your answers in the comment box. Okay, so in this video tutorial we have studied compound statements and how to negate them. Okay, and these are the references that I used. Thank you.